Hello and welcome everyone. Brian and I are at winter camp this year. I think I called it winter camp. It's winter count, which is a primitive skills gathering. It's a massive gathering. There's like 400 people here and a lot of instructors, and they teach primitive skills or ancestral skills. I think that's a better term. I lost my train of thought. I was going to go off on a tangent. Oh my gosh, my brain and words they're not lining up. Anyways, but there's flint knapping and bow making and hide tanning and shoe making and silversmithing, and there's pottery and basket weaving, and there's just like so many different things to learn, which is really, really exciting. This is my second year doing winter count, and his, I don't know, maybe 12th or 14th or maybe even more. I don't know. He's been to winter count a lot as an instructor. And not last year, because last year we had to skip it, but the year prior was my first year, and I assisted him in his classes. But this year I don't have to assist him and will be taking some classes myself. There are 3 classes that I'm interested in, and hopefully I will be able to get in. One is a buckskin moccasin class, or potentially a heavy-duty buffalo hiking boot. I also want to do a tufa casting silver medallions class, where we get to cast silver. And then I would also like to learn how to felt and make like a little pouch or a water bottle sling or something like that. So that's my plan. We'll see what classes I'm able to get into. I also wanted to share with you this ridiculous stack of things that I brought with me. Journal, 5-year diary, and 3 books. This is a short story compilation book that it's been a goal of mine to finish this up this year, and I have 3 more stories left in it, so I thought maybe I'll get around to reading one of them while I'm here. I'm also reading 2 other books. One is Don Quixote and the other is the Iliad. I read the Iliad and Odyssey a long time ago, but this is a newer translation, and I was really intrigued by Emily Wilson's translation, and so far it's been really enjoyable to read and very easy and just like a nice rhythm and pacing to it. I also brought with me my little knitting bag, and I have a pair of socks in the works right now. These are the Grants Point socks by Alicia Plummer. I have now finished one of them. I can't wait for these socks to be finished. I think these are going to be really, really comfortable sock to wear. They're finally tall enough. Oh, it's been such a journey finding a sock tall enough, but there is some cabling on the side here and a fun little stitch pattern in the center. And then on the back side, it's just a knit with a reinforced heel that's really nice and snug and thick. I have the second one in the works. I forgot I had this. This is a double-pointed needle holder. It's been years. Well, I don't know, how long have I been knitting? I guess not years. But basically, I received this earlier on when I started learning to knit, and forgot I had it until Brian and I were looking for something in preparation to come to winter count, and we couldn't find it, and we were going mad, and we were like looking all over the house, and he was lifting up the couch cushions, and he's like, oh, I didn't find what we were looking for, but I did find this. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's been missing for a year or so. Anyways, it's just really nice and convenient so your work doesn't slide off the stitches. I want to take this moment to just compare and see. Oh, okay. I'm actually getting pretty close to starting to heal, which is really fun. I don't think I'll be able to finish these before we're gone, but it would be cool to be able to wear them here at winter count. But anyways, so those that's one of the projects. I also have these gloves, and this has been like this for a while now. I just have to finish the thumb on one of them, and then they will be done. So that'll take not long. I just haven't done it yet. This is for someone's birthday. That's not going to be coming for a couple months still, so I haven't felt the need to like hurry up and finish. We just got here and set everything up. Brian's at a meeting with all of the instructors, and then I'm gonna meet him down in like the little main town, which is a bunch of tent cabins and or wall tents. They have so many names: canvas tents and awnings, and there's a huge fire pit, and we'll have dinner together. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm also just really excited to be camping. That's what I want to do all the time, and it's like it feels so few and far between. It just doesn't feel like we get to do it enough, and I want to do it all the time. So I'm really grateful that we're out here, and I get to wear this sweater. This has been the best sweater that I have knit. I've said this before. It's just so wearable and so comfortable, and it looks good. I feel like it looks good with almost everything. I just really like it. Good morning, everyone. So we're in a completely different place now. We went from winter count to home for one night, repacked everything, and went out again to a different spot to meet up with a friend. And we are camping out for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and then back to work we all go. So we're in a little higher elevation now. It's a little chillier, but I think it'll still warm up quite nicely during the day. I think it's dropping into the 30s at night here. Maybe cooler? I don't know. Anyways, that doesn't matter. It's beautiful. I'm so glad to be continuing our camping adventure. So Brian and our friend went out early this morning, and I'm at camp with the dogs. I got to sleep in, which felt really good, because we have been pretty busy. Winter count was very busy. It was very, very fun. We traded lots of saguaro fruit for a lot of really amazing things. Brian got a beautiful hand-forged axe with a gallon of saguaro fruit. And we also traded saguaro fruit for wild rice that people had harvested, pinion pine nuts, which I love so much. We also traded for fermented cacao beans, which I've never had. Those were so good, and I really want to buy the whole fruit so that I could try to ferment them. What else? Oh, bay nuts. We got some lotion, some salve. With like bear fat. Let's see. I think the pinnacle of the trade was this very special dried persimmon. And this is like a Japanese variety that is actually really astringent, and so people don't ever eat it raw. So you peel the skin and then you hang it out to dry, and then I think you do some like daily massaging or something. It's a really involved process, and these dried persimmons, not only are they so beautiful, but oh my gosh, they are really, really, really tasty. And this was something that some folks at Winter Count had processed themselves. All of this stuff is like people had harvested and put in the time and energy into collecting these foods. And so they're just really special. And then, we also got a bottle of mezcal and a bottle of mead with our saguaro fruit. I feel like I'm forgetting something. It was just the saguaro fruit is like gold at Winter Count. And we feel like we've become very rich and are able to trade for some really cool things. So that's pretty special. Today, I'm going to be teaching myself needle binding. I have a little book. I also downloaded some YouTube tutorials because I think that is a class I would love to teach at future Winter Counts. I think that it is really cool and primitive enough for such a gathering type place. All right, Figgy, you can come through this way. Sorry, we're at a cattle guard. Can you squeeze through here? I don't want him to walk across the cattle guard. He'll like freak out. Oh, I guess that is a gate. I'm gonna have to stop this video for a sec. This is normally one of the greenest times of year for us here in southern Arizona, but it's been a very, 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 very dry winter. So nothing is growing. In fact, everything that has already grown is struggling quite a bit. Oh, there's some sumac. Not poison sumac, but the sumac that has berries that are really tasty. But even that is looking really rough. So admittedly, Brian and I are the owners now of 2 Springbar tents. This is the newest addition in our lives. This is the Springbar Classic Jack 100, which is a 10 by 10. And we got this one because our big, really inexpensive camping tent that we have used for 5 years now and has done really well has kind of like started to bust at all the seams, and the zippers are no longer working. And we've talked about getting it fixed. But we also have had our eye on this size Springbar tent for a while. And so we finally made the plunge. I think we'll still fix the other tent eventually, but now it doesn't need to happen right away. And we have this beautiful canvas tent that will last a lifetime if we treat it well and prevent it from molding. We wanted the 10 by 10 because it's just a little more versatile. The other Springbar tent we have is huge, and really we need a very specific, there's Bean. Hi, Bean. We need a very specific campsite to accommodate such a large tent. And so we went with the smaller one, which is really lovely and has these massive windows. Windows on all four sides. The front and the back windows are huge, and it has these little portico vestibules. I'm gonna stop this video because I really want to pay attention to Bean, but I will be back to finish the talk. So these portico, like this vestibule, is removable. You can unzip it and store those away. Right now I have one down and one rolled up because the morning sun is pretty bright and it's nice to have that little extra shade for hanging out in a shady spot. It's a bit of a mess, but here is our little setup. As you can see, massive back window. The side windows are also quite large, but I don't have them all the way down, especially because this side has the sun. So I just wanted a little cross airflow. And then I love having this big front window. All of the windows can be closed up, including the door. And it's just a really lovely tent. So once again, happy to have it. I really hope one day Brian and I can have land, and I'd love to set these tents up for a big chunk of the year and live out of them. That'd be a dream. All right, Bean, are you ready to go to sleep? Good night, Bean. One of the things that I really love about these tents is that you don't have a rain fly. The canvas is your rain fly, and we've been in some pretty extreme storms and have not had any leaking issues. And so that means, because usually a rain fly on a tent covers up all your windows, and without the rain fly, you also have no privacy. So if you're communally camping, you have to have the rain fly on if you want your privacy. And even if it's not raining, and then it gets hot and stuffy in there and you can't see out. This has so much versatility as far as the windows go, because you can, if you want sunlight coming in or you want airflow, but you're in a space where you are camping in close proximity to people and you want your privacy, you can actually like zip them up so that you have privacy, but also window, which is just really wonderful. Or if you want all the windows down and aren't concerned about the privacy, you just zip them all the way down, and then you have this beautiful picture window. Look at how epic that is. So in the summertime, I look forward to camping in this tent and having that giant window just right there next to us through the night. I open. All right, here are all of my nail binding efforts, starting with just trying to learn the stitches and make little chains. As you can see, a lot of these I've made mistakes. This was probably the nicest one that I made. And then I learned how to connect and build in the round. And then I tried again and ended up accidentally making a mistake on this one, so I stopped working on it, but otherwise it looks really nice. This is the Oslo stitch, by the way. And then I made this one, which I ended up twisting. So I had to abandon that. And then this is the most recent one I made, in which I learned how to decrease. And so now I know how to decrease, and in theory I know how to increase, although I have yet to try it. I'm pretty proud of myself. I learned to Nalbind today. I actually whittled a bunch of Nalbinding needles just because it was something to do and it was fun for me. I also split a bunch of wood and made kindling. I love splitting wood. I'm going to do a little reading. I've been reading the Iliad. This is the translation by Emily Wilson, and it's a really, really good translation. I highly, highly recommend it if you have any interest in epic poems. It's just, she does such a good job just keeping a really consistent, steady, easy pace. Oh, Fig, you want in the tent? All right. I'll let you in the tent, mister. I have transitioned to audiobook for Don Quixote just because I had started reading it, but then I was knitting a lot, and then today nail binding, needle binding, and wanted something to listen to, so I've been listening to that on audio. I also finished 2 of the 3 short stories from the last of that one compilation book. So I only have 1 left, and it's only like 7 pages long, so that will be real quick. And I will achieve one of my goals for 2025. I'm pretty proud of that. All right, I just learned a new nail binding technique. This is the Finish 2x2, and this is my very first attempt, so there's some mistakes. It gets a little bit messy, and I didn't learn how to connect in the round yet, but what a beautiful stitch that is. All right, here I have a better example of the Finish 2x2 stitch and the Oslo stitch here. That finish stitch is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it joined in the round. All right, so now I'm experimenting with making a spiral because I thought I could stitch it onto the bottom of this, and that would be the bottom of my bottle carrier. So we'll see how that works out. This is very experimental. Okay, we're home again, obviously, and it's been a week since we came home. We came home late on Sunday, and then Monday went right back into the work mode, and it was just really busy, and now it's the weekend, and I've had a really nice, relaxing day. I wanted to just kind of close up this video so I didn't leave you hanging, and also update you on this little nail binding project. Nalbinding. I know it's a bad... Nail binding is not the way to say it, and I know that really irritates some people in the Nalbinding community, or Nalbinding, or Nalbinding. I don't quite know how to say it. I've heard lots of different things, but I have heard a few rants on why not to call it nail binding. So anyways, I'm gonna try to break that habit. Anyways, this is my progress on the water bottle holder, and I just have switched yarns. It's such a great way to use up like random scraps of yarns from other projects, and I really like that aspect of it. I just want to show you how it fits on the water bottle. Ta-da! So I'll probably take it all the way up to here and then make little loops, and then either create a leather strap or a null bound strap. I don't know yet. We'll see how that goes, but I really like it so far. And it's been very fun, and I feel like I've learned a lot. I've learned how to fix mistakes. I even learned how to take, so it doesn't unravel. And so going back is really tricky because you have to undo every loop at a time. But I've learned how to do that, and I've learned how to like pick up the loops that are my like working loops, which is cool. I also finished the Count of Monte. No, I finished that a long time ago. I already finished Don Quixote, and I finished the short story collection, and now I am just solo reading the Iliad, which I'm about halfway through now. I mean, the big back of the book is a lot of notes, so yeah, I think I'm over halfway now. And also, I never shared with you this very special coin or medallion that I made at Winter Count. This is a silver medallion that, so I learned how to carve tufa stone, which is like a very, very soft volcanic stone. To make a mold. And then I learned how to kind of monitor the forge and keep the fire hot enough and get it up to temperature with bellows and melt the silver. We used silver coins and then pour the silver into the tufa cast. Okay, so I can stop the bellows now?
Yeah.
It's like Twister.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
But Twister's harder.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So is that?
That was, you know, it was starting to cool a bit. We'll see.
And this is the result. It is a Roman numeral 2, because both Brian and I are Geminis. And so that's like the little symbol of Gemini. I might poke a hole in it one day and turn it into a little necklace. I don't know yet. I really like the way it is as it is, and I don't want to mess it up. It's just so special. I think it's really cool, and I want to do more of that. I really want to go down that rabbit hole, but there's so many rabbit holes that I am interested in exploring, and I really have to pace myself so I don't get overwhelmed, because I am still taking violin lessons. I have a spinning class that I'll be taking to learn how to use a spinning wheel and spin my own yarn. And of course, teaching is a lot. So it's just like, I gotta pace myself. And I also want to do so many knitting projects and read so many books and finish this Nalbinding project and blah, blah, blah. Point is, I think Winter Count just really reinvigorated me and re-inspired me for life, because I was feeling a little less inspired by life. And that did the trick. And now I feel really motivated to do all of these things. And I have lots of ideas that are kind of like bouncing around in my brain. And I'm looking forward to the summertime off, so that I can maybe do all of these things that are inside my mind. But anyways, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this very long video. And I will talk to you hopefully soon. Bye.